Bexley for a few years now, actually, so hopefully it's not changed. My name's Robert, and professionally I'm a hotelier, and that means I manage hotels. Currently I manage a hotel in Folkestone, which is about 50 miles away, on top of a cliff overlooking the channel, which is a fabulous place to come work every morning. You get to work by the sea, and it really puts a spring in your step just coming to work. On top of that, I do an awful lot of community work. I'm the chairman of our Town Centre Management, so that's a group that manages Folkestone Town Centre, and I sit on a board advising the police in business matters. So it's quite an eclectic skill base that I've got. And what I'm really going to talk about is how I got there, how I became where I am today, how I got to where I am today from being a school leaver, not too dissimilar to yourselves. Now, not wishing to date myself, but back in the late 90s, when I was slightly older than you, I was coming to the age where I was ready to leave school. And I had two options. One, go into academia, so go to college or go to university, or two, go into the world of work. Now, my experience of academia was I'd been through school since I was 5 years old, so I knew it well, but I had no experience in the world of work. The careers provision, the careers education, when I was your age, did not exist. We didn't have things like this. My careers education when I was a child was, I was told for 2 weeks I was going to work in home base. And that's 2 weeks in an unfamiliar surround, doing something I'd never known how to do in a business I'd never been in before. And that was absolutely terrifying, and I was completely unprepared. My career aspiration at this point, what I wanted to do when I grew up, was be Indiana Jones, because that was exciting, and that was something you could get behind and think, why wouldn't you want to do that? Was it realistic? In no respect. But there was no one there to set those aspirations for me. Now, when it came to leaving school, I really didn't know what I was going to do. So I started a college course. The college course wasn't for me, and I stopped. And my parents, quite rightly, said, look, you've got to get a job now, and you've got to stand on your own 2 feet. So I scratched my head, and I started applying for jobs. And I started getting interviews. And that was terrifying, because I'd never been trained to sit in an interview. I didn't actually know what an interview was. There wasn't much of an internet back in 1997, so I really couldn't download an interview sheet. So I was worried about how I would get a job, how I'd get someone to take a risk on me and actually employ me, and actually what would happen if no one did. So I decided to apply for hotels because I had a family member that worked in them, and I got an interview. And I went to this interview, and the gentleman on the other side of the desk, who was basically 7 foot tall, 4 foot wide, and terrifying, asked me what my experience was. And I said, quite honestly, I haven't got any. And he said, okay, what can you bring to the job? And I scratched my head, and I said, there isn't anything, basically. I've just left school, I have no skill base, there's nothing I can do. But I'll learn, I'll be enthusiastic, and I promise I'll earn the opportunity you're going to give me. And he said, okay, I will take a risk on you, and I will give you a job for 3 months. And at the end of those 3 months, if you keep the job, it's because you've earned it, and if you don't, then maybe you need to try something else. Well, that was 21 years ago, so I think I did reasonably well, I'm happy to say. What stayed with me, though, is this gentleman who I'd never met before, in an industry I wasn't familiar with, had taken a risk on me. And it's always stayed with me that whatever I've achieved, wherever I am, is because one day a complete stranger said, okay, I'm going to take a risk on you, I'm going to bring you into my business and give you a job. And I earned my £3.50 an hour, and I learned, I came in on my days off, and I listened, and I learned that job. And what I think now, as someone who actually is an employer himself, you have to support people, you have to engage with school leaders like yourselves, and our next generation, and we have to support careers education, because ultimately you guys will become our future workforce. You become our future colleagues, you become our future employers, and you become our future prime ministers. It really is that simple. And as the gentleman said, the sky is really not the limit. There's so much out there. I'm going to leave you the story, which is something that happened to us last year, which I told Mr. Barry previously, in that we came to the summer and we let some school children of about your age come and do some work experience with us. And 5 students were with us for 5 days. And on day 1, we sat down with the students and we said to them, what do you want to get out of this? We've asked you to look at the internet, find out what we're about, learn a bit of our history, what do you want to get out? And every one of those 5 students had a piece of paper, and that piece of paper had an aspiration. They wanted to learn about advertising, they wanted to learn about administration, they wanted to learn how to cook. They all had a goal. And we did our best to facilitate that goal. And one little gentleman who was part of that group, his name's Louis, he would come in an hour earlier and he would leave an hour later than his school friends. And on the Friday, we got the school children together and we thanked them. We gave them a little gift each because they had worked exceptionally hard, and we said goodbye. And then we went back to our job, we went back home, we finished our working week. On Saturday, when I was at home, one of my managers phoned me up and he said, Louis turned up. So I asked him, what do you mean? What do you mean Louis turned up? And he said, we were into lunch service, we were very, very busy, and Louis just turned up and started working. What do I do? And I said, okay, this is so, I've never heard of this before. This is frankly bizarre. What do you do? All I can think of is when he doesn't work for us, he's not on work experience. If he has an accident, we're not insured, so you're going to have to say to him, unfortunately, thank you ever so much, we're really proud of you for coming in, unfortunately you can't work for us. And he did, and Sunday comes, and Louis came back. And Louis was told again, unfortunately, for a lot of boring legalities, you can't work. So Monday comes. Now Louis has to go to school on Mondays, so he didn't turn up during lunchtime. Does anyone have an idea what happened next? He turned up after school. And he came in, and he came into our reception lounge, and he sat down, and he started doing his homework. And when he'd done his homework, he started asking questions. So I came down, and I said to him, what is it you're doing here? What is it you want? Is there something wrong? Is there some reason that you're here and not out with your friends? And he said, no, I'm here because this is where I want to be. So I said, okay, that's good. And I got my coat, we had a chat, I sent him home, and Tuesday comes. And so did Louis. So at this point, I said, right, okay, I'm going to have to do something here. Now, I'm 37 years old, I've employed a lot of staff, and I've never been pushed into hiring someone a day in my life. And I offered Louis a job. And Louis was thrilled. And he came in, and he works for us. He still works for us now, over a year later. And he impacted our business tremendously because the customers loved him, the staff loved him. He worked very, very hard. If you go on TripAdvisor for Grand Hotel Folkestone, he's in it because people have respected the fact that he's there doing such a good job. They've reviewed him. And I think that's fantastic. And the thing I think every job seeker in every industry needs to know is a good employer can teach you any skill, we can't teach you enthusiasm. So if you come to me or any other employer and you're enthusiastic and you want to learn, we will give you a job because we know you're going to earn that job. And I think ultimately, for me, the year 10, year 11 version of me that sat in assemblies and sat in halls like this, never expected the version of me that's standing here now talking to you. So thank you very, very much for the privilege of letting me do so, and I hope some of that was useful. Thank you very much.